was hilarious, though.
You asked for funny.
See, everybody thinks it needs to be all commando, man. I'm telling you, some of the funniest stories are the simplest shit you can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Was there any other classic ones you got on your mind?
Like, even, I don't know if you guys were, but like, talking just, well, I think we were laughing at you, Gilly, when you were pinned down in front of the doorway.
Yeah, I mean, because that's fucking comical, Bob. But yeah, that's super comical. I know. I loved it too. Me being pinned down by an automatic fucking weapon in front of a door. Yeah, it was awesome.
But, these guys, I don't know if they were laughing up, initially, because I mean, it was fucking dude was rocking it from like basically the hallway of the house.
Yeah.
If they were going to make entry in the front door. I don't know why we weren't up there at that point, but when everything kind of settles down, you're laughing at these three. Was it 3 guys or 4 guys up there?
I think it was 3 of us. Yeah.
But I mean, they're pinned down behind this little teeny mound. So they're all hunkered down. They're trying to get as small as they can. And we're back there, laughing on the radio saying, yeah, just hang tight, bro. We'll figure this out.
Get small, fellas, get small.
But that stuff happens all the time. Were you guys on the cave hit when we had the 2 guys in the cave and we took contact and I went right, not gonna say his name, but the other guy went left and he got pinned down behind that fucking rock.
Yeah.
And he's right in front of this cave, pinned down behind this fucking rock that's about as size of him. And yeah, he was stuck there for probably.
That was on that big mountain, right?
Yeah.
We burnt.
The whole time that he would move and he would try to get behind the rock and like get to us, and they would open up on him. And every time they opened up on him, we'd be like, yeah, just hang tight. And he's like getting as small as he can to stay behind this fucking rock.
Wasn't that when we fragged the cave?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then he came running out and went fucking tumbling down that mountain like a fucking.
It was 2 guys.
What was it? Usain. What's his name? Usain Bolt. Yeah.
What's that?
So you throw a couple of frag grenades into the cave, and then 2 guys come running out and fall down a mountainside.
Oh my God!
We all tuned them up.
Yeah,
and
his body went down.
So as they were coming out, I'm shooting at them basically upside down on motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I think one of our other guys, one of the snipers, had gone up to a mountaintop in front of the cave. So when the guys actually started coming out, everyone unleashed on the dudes. But yeah, it was comical as they're dead. So it's just dead bodies going down this fucking mountainside. And we're like, oh, that's fucking funny. Until it was done, and we're like, shit, we need to go.
We gotta go look at the body.
We need to go fucking search him. So it's like, all right, who's gonna go down this motherfucker and search these guys?
Damn, these stories are fucking epic. All right, I do have a question. Well, you got another one you want to share? I'm all ears.
Well,
no, just say it. No.
Over 1,000 stories like that,
Yeah, that's crazy.
So this is a little bit more of a not a common one, but a serious one. I interviewed a guy a while ago named Chris Van Zant who was in Delta.
Chris!
Yeah, so did you serve with him?
I did. I was in C Squadron with him for a while. Yeah, great dude.
Yeah, great dude. And I was talking to him about why do you read all these stories about you got Green Berets who get in trouble, you got SEALs that get in trouble, but you don't ever read stories about Delta hitting the news. And he said, if you are a fucking idiot, you're just gone essentially. And so I'm curious, what's your opinion of why you see all these other issues in other units, but you Delta, it's not really something that it seems to be an issue whatsoever.
I think it's, there's 2 components to it, right? When you get to that level, the selection process is a lot better. And dudes do get booted real quick, right? I think 6 guys that I graduated our training course with went to D Squadron, and 2 years later, I think there was only 3 of us left, right? But the other part is Green Berets and Navy SEALs are really big organizations, right? I mean, easily, tens of hundreds, not hundreds of times bigger than the unit, right? So if you've got 100 operators deployed throughout the world, and you've got, 3,000 or 4,000 special forces dudes deployed, you're going to have more trouble with those guys. There's just more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But here, let me fill you in on a secret though. We have our own issues, right? Like every single unit out there. All right. But what I do think,
don't let the booze talk, Gilly.
no. But hey, we got issues just like we got to fire dudes just like everybody else, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
Well,
But-
hey, let me ask about if a guy comes in and he's made it through selection and then it's OTC, right? Operators training course they go to, and then that's when you get through that. Now you're in. Am I understanding that correctly?
Well,
Yeah,
you're
never in.
selection's ongoing.
So if a guy gets to the unit and 6 months in, he turns out to be a major problem, or he's just, it's not so much he doesn't mesh well, but he's a problem. Is it like a football team where it's just handled internally in the locker room, or is it more like get this guy the fuck out of here? We don't want to be around this guy.
Both.
So
It's
yeah,
both.
we had that on our team. We had an issue like that. And when I took over the team, I had to do a little bit of backtracking a little bit because some things weren't done, correctly, I guess 100% the first time around. But I had to fire a guy. And that was because this kid had all the great operator skills, great individual operator skills. He was a good shooter. He could do CQB well, right? But he could not fucking mesh with the team. He just couldn't. And he was like a caustic disease on the team. And it just turned out where I just had to, I tried him out in a different position and it didn't work. And I had to bring him back and I had to get rid of him.
So, when guys leave Delta, do they just go back to the unit they came from then?
Yeah, so a lot of, if he was SF, he could go back to SF, he could go back to Ranger Battalion, wherever. Yeah. I mean, they try to give him, they try to hook him up because they did do a service and they put all their effort into this. So they try to give them, their assignment they want, but they could go back
to answer your question on that. It is initially dealt with internally. And then if that doesn't work, then yes, you're like, get the fuck out. So, I mean,
and I'll say that, the unit has much more levity with that stuff than other places, right? Like, so I came from Ranger Battalion, right? And there's, the code of conduct for, the 75th Ranger Regiment. There's certain standards in there. If you break those, you'll be released from the 75th Ranger Regiment. Now, if the kid doesn't break those, but he's just an asshole or an idiot or whatever, you can't get rid of him. And I'm pretty sure it's the same way with special forces. There's been plenty of dudes that have left the unit because their personality just it wasn't a good fit in the locker room.